Do you get nervous during your interviews? Are you stumbling over certain questions, wishing you had just answered them a little bit differently? Is there a part of the interview process that is tripping you up and you're just not getting that offer so you can start doing that job you love? Well, you're in the right place. My name is John Nerrell, and I want to welcome you to a special interview preparation series here on the Mid-Career GPS podcast. I help mid-career professionals who are feeling stuck, undervalued, and underutilized show up to find a job they love or love the job they have using my proven 4-step formula. It's time to start building your mid-career GPS, so let's get started. Hello, my friends. You are listening to a special week-long series focused on helping you prepare for your next interview. All this week, I'm sharing short, actionable tips designed to address a key component in the interview process. Now, in addition to this podcast, I have written a new guide called 26 Sentence Starters to help you answer any interview question. Many of my clients struggle with formulating their answers and speaking confidently about their experiences. These sentence starters will help you gather your thoughts, calm your nerves, and tell your story from that place of value and service so you can get the hiring manager interested in who you are and what you do. Now, to get the guide, visit johnnerrell.com or click the show notes, and let me help you tell your career story a little better. Today's topic is all about your preparation, and I have 5 tips to help you prepare for your interview. Number 1 is identifying how did you get the interview? Did you apply for it on a job board like LinkedIn or Indeed? Or did you get the job through your network? Who was that person? And what do you know about the particular interview you're about to have? This is why your preparation is key. You want to gather as much background data as possible. And that leads me to tip number 2. Make sure to connect and follow the company on social media and check out their website. A lot of times I am asked by people, is it a good idea to connect with the interviewer or the hiring manager on LinkedIn? And my answer is always yes. It shows initiative. Now, they may not accept your connection request. It could be for a variety of reasons, but remember that's not about you. And keep in mind, maybe they're not on LinkedIn all that much either. But here's why I believe it's a good move. They're going to see your profile. Obviously, you want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date and optimized as best as possible. And one of those things you are going to want to make certain you have on your profile are recommendations. Recommendations are key. The reason being is that anybody who connects with you, especially if it's a hiring manager or potentially a really great network connection, they're going to read those recommendations because they're going to learn what people are saying about you and what you say about other people. I did a great episode. It's episode number 96. I'll link up to it in the show notes, called Why You Need to Write More LinkedIn Recommendations. It got some really, really great feedback, and it is another way to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile. In addition, as you're following the company on social, it allows you to learn as much about the company as you can. And going into the interview, there might be something you've seen or you've read that allows you to talk about it and weave it into the interview so the hiring manager knows you've been paying attention. Tip number 3, review the job description. The job description tells you everything about the job you want to know, but more importantly, it tells you about the particular problems that the person filling this position is going to solve for the company. You want to know that job description as best as you can. One tip that I have for you in this part is take that job posting, copy and paste it into a Word doc or print it out, and go through that job description and circle all of the verbs. Those verbs are going to be great indicators for what the expectations are for you in the job. And those verbs is another way to help you build your sentence starters. So it's some of the things that I talk about in my new guide that you can find on my website at johnneral.com. It is an absolutely great resource and have gotten some wonderful feedback from it already to help you start formulating those thoughts. Now, tip number 4 to help you prepare for your interview is you have to practice. Like any athlete or musician, you have to practice and train for your performance. An interview is just that, it's a performance. And for that, you got to practice. So here's a few examples to help you do that. Stand in front of a mirror and practice your answers. Look at yourself right in the eyes, but pay attention to how much you gesture, where your body mannerisms and your nonverbal communication tends to go. You can also do this by turning on, you can do it in Zoom and just record yourself and see what that looks like. Listen to your answers as they come back. You can practice these questions anywhere. Practice them in the car. You can practice them by doing a voice note on your phone. But practice the questions you think you are going to be asked, as well as the ones that may trip you up, be it ones from a previous interview or ones that maybe you're a little uncertain how to answer. You can also practice with somebody else. One of the things I do with my one-on-one clients is we run through a series of interview questions to see how they respond to them. And from my hiring manager days, my ear is very attuned to picking up certain subtleties about what people say and what they don't. We're going to talk about that later on this week, too. The last tip I have for you to help you prepare for your interview, you must evaluate. You have to evaluate your performance because there's going to be another interview. There's going to be another opportunity for you where you will be in this similar situation. So here are some questions to help you evaluate your interview performance. What did you do well? What did you learn? What questions surprised you? And what do you need to work on for next time? So these are all tips to help you prepare for your interview. Let me go back and just quickly review these 5 tips. Number 1, how'd you get the interview? Did you apply or network? Number 2, make sure to connect and follow the company on social, as well as check out their website. And I personally believe it's a good idea to reach out to the hiring manager and connect with them on LinkedIn. Because look, even if you don't get the job, they may end up being a great LinkedIn connection for you down the road. Number 3, review the job description. Take time to circle the verbs that are listed in that job description and start thinking about the kinds of questions you may be asked. Tip number 4 was about practicing. You've got to practice and train, whether you do it by yourself or with somebody else. Practice the questions you think you'll be asked, as well as the ones that may trip you up. And lastly, evaluate your overall performance. What did you do well? What did you learn? What questions surprised you? What do you need to work on for next time? Come back tomorrow or just click on the next episode, depending on when you are listening to this, because in the next episode, we're going to talk about how do you build rapport with the hiring manager so you get them more interested in who you are and what you do. So until next time, my friends, remember this: we build our mid-career GPSs 1 mile or 1 step at a time, and how we show up matters. Make it a great rest of your day.